Today we're going to draw the lion. I'm just going to draw the big shape. Like where is it? The right side, I'm going to put a little mark over here. I'm going to divide into 3 parts. Put a little bit over here. The first decision. So the right hand side, I'm going to leave this much. The left hand side, leave this much. The middle part almost like a half of the width. I'm going to draw this shape. If you want to see how I do watercolor and oil painting of lions, just look into our member learning center. There are many lessons over there. Okay, now I'm going to carve this part and also see that from here down. Okay, so this would be their face, right? Even though I used the compressed charcoal, which is very dark, I draw lightly like that. So you do the same thing with whatever tool you're using, right? Coming the back over here, see this angle. And almost like I relay that on the mouth over here, all the way relate to the left side, that's the body. Okay, also this part relay all the way over here, that's the leg over here. So I'm gonna let you there, give enough time to think about all the big shape. That's just, we lay out all the big shape over here. And I think that the face is in the right place. The face can be a little bit tiny lower. This is straight. That's the elbow of the lion. Next, we are going to carve out the shadow shape. Like you see that the shadow over here. You see that the shadow all the way like this. I'm going to draw the shape of the shadow. Actually, I'm going to make the background also darker too. You see that? By the bottom over here, I'm going to leave it a little bit lighter. Okay, like that. From the top over here, you see that? And all the way, I'm going to put, we don't have to make it too defined. I just want the outside to be a little bit darker. And then I'm going to working into inside the lion. Also make it even darker in the shadow side. Can you see it? Right here. So even though we are drawing or painting the animal, but the same process and technique that we use it for landscape too. Okay, you can just pretend this is the shadow side of the mountain. Like that. That's good. Now, this is the big shadow shape. This is the biggest shadow shape. The second thing, we are going to work into the shadow shape on the face. Okay. Okay, look at that, the shadow shape over here. The shadow shape. After you create a shadow shape, you're going to see the form a lot better. Okay, that's good. Like that. That's just the shadow. So, and also I'm gonna go down to take a look at the paw. Well, I'm going to create a shadow of the paw with the catch the shadow at the same time, but I'm gonna make that a little bit more clear how to divide this like that. The same thing over here like that. I'm gonna do the shadow shape. Can you see that? That's the shadow shape. I'm gonna make that a little bit darker over here, but you can see the shadow shape over here, the shadow and the cast shadow at the same time. And then inside over here, a little bit here, a little bit darker, like that. This is good. A little bit clear over here too. Okay, this is good. Now I'm blending it. You can do the same direction. Here you go. That's good. Like that. I'm making the background to be a little bit softer. Like that. That's good. I intentionally leave it right above the lions. It's a little bit lighter so that we can see the back a little bit more clear. I'm gonna keep coming down over here, blending this. That's good. All the way over here. And in a small area, you can use a smaller blender. Okay, you can change the size of the blending. Okay, that's good. Like that. Okay. That's a very important that we stay big, not details yet, because we want to create a form. Now we're gonna come into the face shadow right over here. See that? Look at that. Blend this in. Ooh. Coming in over here. You can use the blender. Think about like a blender is a drawing, but we are drawing conforming the shape. You can see that the shape of that. That's good. Like the nose over here too. I'm gonna use the blender to do the nose over here. That's good. Okay, I'm gonna also use the blender over here. And here you go. If you don't have enough charcoal in the drawing, put some charcoal over there before you come back to blend. Here you go. That's good. Actually, I'm gonna make the outside over here a little bit softer too. Now define the chin of the lion. Okay, this is good. I'm also gonna give a little bit shadow over here. Separate that, the rock, the shadows of the rock. Some edges we can create that during the blending process. Some are softer, some are clear. Okay. Okay, you can add some charcoal to it and then blend it again. This is a very important step. Make sure you give enough time and attention to it, because we create the big form. Okay, have fun with the blending. Okay. Now I'm going to use the eraser. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to give a little bit soft light over here for the hair. Okay, this is good. Coming down over here, you see, a little bit lower. That's good. Like, see that? That's the erasing this part. As this work as a good technique to show the soft hair. You see that? It's very, very simple. And I'm gonna also here, I don't want to take out everything over here, just make it a bit lighter. So create the feeling of the soft fur. Okay, like that. That's good. A little bit tiny. You see over here, I'm gonna use the eraser to make sure we have the good clear edge. That's a very good and clear edge right here. Like that. I actually can add a little bit more clear line. Like that. That's just good. Define it a little bit better. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to come to the nose. You see the nose a little bit too low. So I'm going to have the nose, erase it up a bit. Okay. Okay. Right there. That's just good. Now actually I'm going to come back over here to redefine that edge. I want that edge a little bit more clear. You see that? Coming over here. Redefine the edge a bit. We can make the outside a little bit darker if you want it to be a little bit more clear. That's good. Right. Okay. We fixed the nose and also on the forehead also a little bit clear. And make the forehead over here a little bit lighter. That's good. Now I'm gonna make the outside over here give it a little bit line over here. Okay, that's good. And coming forward. So you can use the blender again to making this from here outside like this. It's good. Perfect. And now come back to the top over here. This need to be a little bit more clear. Right here. Okay, that's good. Eraser really make it look like easy to create a feeling of the fur and the hair. And this can be a little bit clear. And the top over here, a little bit lighter. Like that, that's just good. And have a little bit light over here on this side too. Okay, that's good. And that create the foundation for the whole drawing. Okay, that's good. Like that. I'm gonna have a little bit light top over here. Also give a little erase. That's good. A little bit more clear here too. You see this step really defined the good shape. And we can erase the top over here too. Okay. And the back over here. If you want to make it clear, that's the time we can make some good correction. That's good. The back over here a little bit lower. That's good. Okay, now come back over here to give it a bit more sharper. And I can give it a little bit more darker. We draw the shape over here. That's the shadow. And also you can add something else in the background if you want to, okay, at this point. And right now, there's no specific details in the drawing. But it's all telling the most important and fundamental of the object, which is the form. And we use the background to making the form a lot more clear. Okay. How is it? That's good. All right. Now I would like you to look at me, and we only have a couple minutes. Let me show you how I finish it, and then you can finish that as a homework. Okay? Ready? And just look at me. Okay, now let's continue. Over here I'm going to use the smaller tool with the pencil. Now I'm going to show you And I'm going to add some darker area, and then it's going to be pretty good. And I want to make this a little bit lighter over here. So now I'm going to lift up some. I'm going to use the eraser. That's the little bit of the reflection over here. Like that. This is good. They're using the eraser for the reflection. Okay, that's good. And that's pretty good. Now I'm going to come back over here. Take a look. I'm going to start from the eye. Okay, the eye is just a little triangle like that. Okay. I suggest that you should never start this step until you create a form. There is a many different process. I feel that this process making you easier, okay, making the whole drawing process or the painting process a lot easier by create a bigger form. Okay, that's good. The eye is already there. This is pretty easy. Now we're gonna do the nose. Like, take a look at the nose right in here. That's a little big triangle over here too. That's called the nostril, right? I'm gonna put the nostril over here, and there's a little shape from the outside over here and coming into the middle like that, and coming to the mouth. And we're gonna show a little bit shape of the two, and now cross over here. You see, we did not pay attention to this shape before until now, because we have to define the shape, the form, right? This is important, and that's good. And the bottom over here, then the chin is a little bit too long, so I'm gonna use the blending. Now go over here to making it a little bit more shorter, like that. That's good. Now the over here too, the cheek over here a little bit higher. That's just good. Now we correct that, and I'm going to make the outside over here still a bit texture. That's showing that a little bit more clear from the background, like that. That's just good. Now almost there. Now I'm gonna come back here to use the bigger tool, and I'm going to draw the detail inside the shadow. Okay, I'm going to draw that over here and a little bit over here. This is good. And a little bit detail shape, and also on this side a little bit shape coming down. Now this is the secondary detail. So I'm going to have it down like this. I'm going to have over here too. This a little bit darker. Now we're going to refine the leg right here. You see that? Now I'm going to just draw this. This is a sharp edge. Okay, the sharp corner. That's good. Like that. We don't have to make this very clear. Okay, this doesn't need to be very clear. Like that. I'm going to make the fur a little bit dimmer. So this is the little bit more detail over here. Over here a little bit more like that. This is good. It's good. A little bit shadow over here, a little bit soft, and the forehead over here coming down a bit. So you don't have to get into this much details, but this is the process. If you want to draw it quickly, a little bit better, and you need to learn the universal process that we can apply to everything, like not just animal, not just portrait, but you'll be able to do every subject matter. Now we're gonna look into the inside over here, a little bit more detail over here. If you want to be a little bit more clear, and then you're gonna come to use the charcoal to make it even more clear, like that over here. Now I'm gonna draw that a little bit shape over here, a little bit clear. Now this is good, coming down over here like that. And now take a look at inside over here. This shape can be a little bit darker like that. Okay, here you go. It's a lot better. Now I'm going to use the blender, making sure that the shadow belong to the shadow shape. Okay, like that. That's good. And I'm going to have this side. That need to be very clear on this. This is good. Okay, you control what want to be clear, what you don't want it to be clear. That's very important. And the top over here, we can keep a little bit soft. That's fine. And but with the fur coming down over here, I'm going to use the eraser to create a little bit more suggestions. Okay, look at over here. I'm going to use just the eraser, just making it look sharper. And here you go, just like that. You see, that's good. Like that, that's good. That's good. Coming out a bit more. All right, and couple here, like that. That's good. Now make it look like, oh, this is the fur, but we don't want to think about the fur, or thinking about the contrast, thinking about what tool we're gonna use, right, to create that feeling. Here you go, coming out over here. But using the eraser, really doing the good job on the outside over here. Make it a bit softer like that. This is good. Now, I'm gonna use the blender, making sure that getting this into this shape, blending it down over here. Okay, look at the curve, a little bit up a bit more. Otherwise, the lion looks too angry. Okay, over here. Okay, that's just good. Now I'm gonna make this a bit softer. So if there's too much charcoal here already, use the other side. That's good. Make it a little bit softer. Like that. I'm gonna come in over here. That's come in a bit more. Now I'm gonna use this side of the blender. We can use that as a drawing tool. Okay, coming over here. That's good. Like that. And now look at here, we can make it a bit clear. In front of the eye, there's a little bit shape coming down like this. I'm going to use the eraser to, here you go, add that shape right over here. That's good. That's good. And make inside the eye white over here, a little bit more lighter. Now I'm going to use the blender again. We can make that the fur over here a little bit darker, but not too dark. So just enough to make the eye a little bit more clear. Okay, this is good. Now come back with the charcoal pencil. Now here we go. I'm gonna make that a little bit darker in the pupil, okay, and the iris. Okay, now I'm gonna define the shape over here a little bit more clear. This a little bit darker and coming down a little bit softer. So it's very, very tiny details that you can work on. Okay, I'm gonna make this also light up a bit more. On this side, we can make it a little bit. Let go of that. This is good. I'm gonna add a little bit softer over here. That's good. Now this is use the blender to making this a little bit softer. That's just good. Okay, I can use the blender continue to build up some suggestions of details of the fur like that. And then I'm also gonna come back over here if you want to have a little bit more clear coming down over here. You see that that's a little bit more clear, but you don't want to have the detail overturn or overtake the big relation. Okay, you don't want to have inside the detail over here making it stand out too much from the shadow. Okay, that's good. Now I'm gonna have this a little bit more softer like that. This is pretty good. And now we take a look at the front over here. Let's look at the part over here. Now I'm going to have a little bit fur coming up like that, a little bit over here. That's just good. And we're going to define the shadow down over. We're going to define the shadow over here. That's the time. I'm going to use the soft charcoal pencil. Now I'm going to have it like here. Now look at it inch by inch. That's good, like that. Now I'm going to come to use the eraser. Now I'm going to have it erase a bit. Okay, that's good. Make that a little bit light. That's perfect. Now I'm going to come back to the charcoal. Now take a look at here. To separate the shadow from the cast shadow, we just need to making the catch the shadow a bit darker. That's it, right? This is very simple, like that. Okay, enough. That's good. Now take a look at the top over here. I think that's very good already. I can build up this a little detail shape over here too. Make it a bit more like that. Here you go. That's good. Now the front over here, we don't have to make everything too clear. And we can use the blender to do some of the detail. And I'm going to make this a little bit, have a little bit charcoal, and I use the blender. There you go, coming in like that. Beautiful. Now a little bit shape. We need to have 1, 2, 3, perfect. And like that, that's good. And I have a little bit shade down over here. So everything, that's the 4 fingers. That's just good. All right. Now we'll take a look over here. We'll do the same thing. We're going to separate this shadow side from the catch the shadow. Like that. That's good. So that's how, little by little, we're going to building up the details. But the detail, you don't need to concern about it at the beginning. We need to concern about the larger shape, right? Now over here, a little bit more. That's good. A little bit more clear over here. That's good enough. Now I'm going to use the blender to create the impression of the fur down over here, like that, moving up. And I'm going to have this also down, beautiful, like that. I'm going to have this building up a bit more. That's good. I'm going to use the direction. Okay, look at the direction. That's good. I want this a little bit more clear too. A little bit, make it a little bit deeper feeling. So I'm going to have this right here. A little bit over here. There you go. Okay. And there you go. Continue. Build up a little bit feeling of the fur. Okay, over here, I'm gonna come in over here. And also somehow one is immediate next to the light shape is a little bit darker because it has the reflection. When it's a little bit away from that, gonna have a reflection, right? So over here also we have a little bit tiny light in here too. Make it a little bit lighter. Like over here, we have a little bit reflection, but we don't have to make that a little bit too light. we can actually just add a little bit more shadow in here, a little bit darker in here, like over here, a little bit darker if you want to. Okay, that's good. We're gonna come back to the face over here. As we see, we're gonna redefine this sharp shape, like right over here. This a little bit triangle, okay? And nothing is hard and nothing is easy. We just have to following the process from big to small and gradually building up the drawing or our painting, okay? Like that. This a little bit more clear, like that. Okay, that's good. Now see that that's a little bit more clear. We define this shadow, like that. And we're gonna take a look over here as well. There's a little bit deeper over here. All right, and that will be the last thing will be the whisker. And take a look at the nose over here. Yeah, and we're gonna define the shape of the nose. That's good. And then the shape over here, we're gonna redefine this triangle. Okay, use the blender. That's good. And coming down to the nose over here. That's just good. All right. Now I'm gonna come here. Redefine that a little bit light shape right next to that. So this very good. The nose. Okay. That's good. And we can make that a little bit softer right there. That's good. And now we're gonna use the blender. Take a look over here. We're gonna create that some soft dot. Okay, here you go. Like that. Just tap on it. That's good. That's beautiful detail, right? Okay, now we're going to do the whisker. And you can use the eraser to do the whisker, or you can use the white charcoal pencil. Okay, so I'm going to try to use the eraser, do some of it. Okay, right here. I'm going to do that a little light. Beautiful. Look at that. And that's good. That's good. A couple lines up over here. Now I'm going, before we use the white charcoal, making sure that we are making the black charcoal to be more stable by using the blender to making sure is not going to mix with the white charcoal. Okay, that's good. All right, now let's take a look. I'm going to making sure it's more stable. Okay, it's ready. Now use the white charcoal. Now here we go. Look at that. Look at it before we draw it. Like that. Perfect. Yeah. Don't make it all like parallel. Some of them, they're not parallel, right? We're gonna have this all the way this direction. Okay, that's good. And like this, that's good. There's a couple coming down over here. That's good. Like that. And then have all the way here. And there's a one going up like this. Here you go. cross over. And one more. Okay. All right. And then this drawing is finished. Inside the eye over here, we're gonna have a little bit highlight. That's good.